All right, everyone, in this video, we're going to talk about finding an MSE provider. Super important topic, and I would say this is one of the big value offerings that I provide through my one-on-one chats that you can sign up for through my blog, is I help people find an MSE provider based on the city that they live in. I keep a list, basically, and if I can't vouch for an orthodontist personally, what I'll do is I'll find 2 or 3 that are in proximity to wherever the person I'm consulting with lives, and I'll recommend that they speak with multiple providers, get a few different quotes, a few different MSE providing treatment plans, and then go with your intuition. Ask the person point blank how many cases they've done, and if they've done a lot of cases, then you've got a winner, because that's going to be the key. The key to finding a good MSE providing orthodontist is going to be having one who has a lot of experience. And what we've seen is that because MSE is sort of new, I mean, MARPI's not that new. Microimplant assisted rapid palatal expansion has been happening since the 2000s, but MSE itself didn't go mainstream really until like 2016, 17. So there's a few really awesome top 1% providers who have hundreds of cases, like Dr. Ilya Lipkin, my doctor, or like Dr. Ting, or like Dr. Rebecca Bacow, or like Dr. Mariana Evans, Zubad Nuaz, perhaps, Joseph Yusefian up in Seattle, Richard Robley in Arkansas, and I'm sure I'm forgetting more, but they're out there. Those are the top 1%ers, okay? So if you're in proximity to New York or LA or Seattle or Fayetteville, Arkansas, you're in good shape. But what if you're not? What if you're in Wisconsin or New Mexico or some random ass place like that? Well, talk to me. We'll find the people near you, and we'll get you set up with talking to a few people, and then you can make a decision from there. Why is it so important to have an MSE provider who has lots of experience? Because MSE, while it's extraordinarily powerful, and while we've all acknowledged now that MSE is a key part to pretty much any adult orthodontic expansion project, it is not without its downsides. The key to MSE is minimizing the risk of downside potential. How do we do that? By having a provider who has seen that downside and who has built an infrastructure around him or herself to avoid it in the future. What are those risks associated with MSE? Number 1, failure to split. Okay? Number 2, asymmetry. Let's talk about failure to split. Failure to split means you get the MSE installed, but it never splits your maxilla. Why? Because the maxilla is a tough son of a bitch. It's bone. And you have a little metal appliance, and it's the metal versus the bone. And sometimes the bone wins, especially in adult males. How do you deal with that? As an experienced MSE provider, you have a whole infrastructure around dealing with that. It can mean a few things. It can mean offering good cortical puncturing, which means drilling holes in the roof of the maxilla or drilling holes in the roof of your mouth to help the MSE split. Or it could involve, Mike Sadowski's comment yesterday was about the new piezoelectric MSE assist. It's some new method that they're using to basically go in from the roof of the mouth and split the maxilla using that process. I don't really know what it involves, but I'm going to find out more and report back to you on that. It could mean working with an oral maxillofacial surgeon who can do different types of MSE assists, like either just doing the chisel down the center of the maxilla or the chisel plus the Le Fort cuts, which we call dome, the dome procedure. So a good MSE provider will have a plan for splitting even the toughest bone. Second, MSE asymmetry. And this is important and serious, because I've seen 5 or 6 cases over the past year and a half of me doing my consults where, like, it's bad, man. Like, one side of the maxilla is out in left field, the other side never moved. And then if it fuses like that, under the watch of an inexperienced MSE provider who doesn't even recognize the asymmetry, you've got trouble. Because now you're going to spend the next year or 2 orthodontically trying to correct that one side that got super expanded, and it's just a pain in the ass. That can also happen if the MSE is installed crooked. If it's installed diagonal, then that can cause one side to get pushed one way and the other side to kind of go funky, right? So an inexperienced provider could not maybe do the perfect install, which could result in problems of asymmetry. So important to have an experienced provider who has been through the mud and come out the other side with experience and lessons learned and the ability to not make mistakes on you because they've already made them, as harsh as it is to say, on someone else. What else can I say about MSE providing orthodontists? I wish there was some central database out there where you could just go in and see, you know, a list of MSE providers, how many cases they've done, where they're located, and then you could just sign up, but that's not the way it works. You've got to kind of network within this community by either talking to me or getting on Reddit or sneaking into the MSE user group on Facebook, which is just a bunch of dentists talking about MSE and, you know, the latest and greatest tricks and methods that they're using to treat with MSE. But you know, you can't really just Google it. So if you're struggling to find a provider, contact me through my blog, sign up for a one-on-one chat. But I would caution you this, and I'll leave you with this. You are better off not doing MSE than you are doing it with the wrong provider. I would absolutely tell you, don't even do MSE rather than be someone's first, second, or even 10th case. If the provider you're consulting with has never even finished an MSE case, run. Because it's always better to do nothing than to do harm. Seek someone who has dozens or perhaps hundreds of cases. If you can't find that person because you live in an obscure area, contact me. We can find one together. And otherwise, that's it. Thank you for all of the love that I got yesterday on my comeback video. So good to have a warm reception. Shout out to Mike Sadowski again for making the great comment about the piezoelectric MSE Assist. We're all going to learn more about that because I'm going to go out and figure out what that's all about and report back to you. Shout out to the YouTube channel What I've Learned. When I get a comment from a channel like that, which is personally one of my favorite channels, it means the freaking world, because it's like, damn, if what I've learned is seeing my videos, then maybe I am making an impact in some, you know, some important way. So he's also done some great videos on jaw hacking, and I would recommend it. So talk to y'all soon. Be easy. Peace out.